Welcome back, students, to the same topic, principles of inheritance. So before beginning, we will recapitulate what we have studied earlier. Gregor John Mandel, uh, you know, Austrian Augustinian priest, studied physics at University of Vienna, cultivated more than 30,000 pea plants in his lifespan. Choose pea plants because pea plants hybrid could be produced. Pea, this can be self and cross fertilized, small and easy to grow. Many different varieties were available. Now, if we look at the contrasting traits, here if you see the seeds, the form of cotyledons are gray, round, white wrinkles. Um, the yellow and green cotyledons, the flower type as the white in color flower, violet flower. The pod types are the form is full constricted and color yellow and green color. Similarly, the stem, the place where the flowers are terminal and axial in position, and size of the plant is tall and dwarf. There are some technical terms in this chapter, like the first one as character. There are certain heritable features for every individuals, and these are termed as characters. Traits, there are certain variant for the characters, and these are regarded as traits for the tallness and for the dwarfness of a plant. For example, true breeding, the plants that self-pollinated, all the offsprings that are of the same variety are referred as true breeding, like Pisum sativum. Monohybrid cross, a cross that tracks the inheritance of a single character. If we consider only one trait, and such type of traits when are considered, these are termed as monohybrid. P generation, it is a parental generation of true breeding plants. F1 stands for the first filial generation, offsprings of P generation. F2 stands for the second filial generation, offsprings of F1 cross. Similarly, alleles that are alternate version of genes, the dominant alleles expressed in heterozygous conditions, the recessive alleles not expressed and they remain suppressed, homozygote, a pair of identical alleles for the character. Homozygous dominant can be denoted by the uppercase B, and homozygous recessive can be expressed by the lowercase b. Heterozygote, the two different conditions of alleles for the character, and can be represented by one uppercase b and a lowercase b. Genotype, the genetic makeup. Phenotype, the appearance of an organism. Genotypes are homozygous that possessing two of the same copy of an allele, heterozygous possessing different copies of an alleles. Genotypes can be dominant, and as I have expressed it earlier, as denoted by the uppercase alphabets, whereas heterozygous, on other hand, can be expressed by one of the uppercase letter and one monohybrid cross. When Mendel made a cross among the different traits, he considered like the expression of the color of the flower as purple color flower or white color flower as one trait, and this is then considered as monohybrid crossed. And similarly for the seed colors, the color of the seed as green and yellow, similarly the pod structure, and for the seed coat color, seed variety as the wrinkle seed and the round seed. So what he observed that in all such cases, the ratio he find is 3 is to 1. The trait which is expressing its character is dominating and is in the ratio of 3, and which remains suppressed is in the ratio of 1. So always he found that ratio is 3 is to 1. So conclusions from his observation as the generations F1, first filial generation, the offsprings resulting from a cross of true breeding plants, and the second filial generation, offsprings resulting from the self-fertilization of the F1, the first filial generation of plants. This helps to distinguish where to go, and the results, as we will see later in our next lesson, which is referred as the back cross and test cross.